Hey guys, so today it's another very important video because today I'm talking with you about what would actually need to happen to see alt season, because the criteria are not all the criteria are not met for alt season. Alt season is not here. It will come, but we need to prepare what could happen between for now and the start of alt season. And if you are not positioned right, this could hurt you really bad. So pay attention and prepare. So let's start with the Bitcoin dominance chart. This is basically the most important chart you can have on TradingView if you are really in the altcoin game. So we are right now at around 60% level, which is pretty high for the dominance. We could have seen a top right here, right? Which would mean that everything would have happened just as always, because the Bitcoin dominance always tops out at this time of the cycle. But of course, this time could be different when we break out, go a little bit higher, because we do have here some quite nice resistance. But I do believe actually that we maybe sweep this high once more or come lower, but I don't think we will go to the 70% level. I actually don't think that. Also, if you look at the Bitcoin dominance excluding stables, we broke to the downside of this wedge, which is the most probable outcome. We could see now retesting this line here up again, maybe do a double top and then drop. This could be a possibility, and I'm going to explain why I actually think that. So if we look at the other charts, so basically the altcoins on the Bitcoin pair, we are seeing that they are down. They are down hard, right? If your altcoin went up on the dollar pair, you overall still lost, because you could have made more if you were in Bitcoin. And also that's something that I have to acknowledge, that this was my mistake, and this is something I will definitely do better in the next cycle, because yes, you have always something to learn, and that's what I learned from the experience. So what we are seeing here is that we have quite nice support levels right here. And the actually bad thing would be to break down and come to this lower range, but I don't think that will happen, because this would mean we would need we would have this whole bear market, which we saw in the altcoin market, like double that, and then we have this. This would be absolutely unrealistic, and then we would actually think that this time is different. But we don't think this time is different, because actually nothing is showing us that this time is different. So now I'm going to show you what I'm seeing. So if we take a look at the balance sheet, what we can see here clearly is quantitative tightening is going on since 2022. And really, for risk assets, high risk assets, especially like altcoins, to really outperform Bitcoin, like it always does in a post-halving year, we need to see quantitative easing. Like, quantitative tightening must stop, else we are not seeing an alt season. It's that simple, because if we look at dominance, the chart that shows us like whether we have alt season or not, it's that simple. If we compare it now with QC and QE, like the balance sheet, we can see Bitcoin season every time when we saw QT. Then QE starts, bam, that's alt season. Right now we don't see any reversal here, right? Right now it's simply Bitcoin season. Since 2022 it has been Bitcoin season, and until we see QE, we will see Bitcoin season continue. Of course, I am not aping in Bitcoin now. It's absolutely not wise to go into Bitcoin now, where altcoins are at the bottom of this range and Bitcoin is at the top of this range. It doesn't make sense, but we can go higher. So then the question is really, what would need to happen to see quantitative easing? What would need to happen? So the scenarios are basically, we would need to see either deflation, very low inflation, putting us below the expectations even, or we need to see a skyrocket in the unemployment rate. Ultimately, it would mean we need to have an event which would trigger quantitative easing, and this event would mean a huge crash in the financial markets. So this would mean we would need to see like this rise a little bit upper more, and altcoins on a Bitcoin pair probably range down a little bit further, and then we would need to see this V-shaped recovery just like we saw here, right? Where then liquidity gets really pumped into the financial markets again, and people can take the risk and go into the lower risk assets, higher risk assets, of course, because as long as we see quantitative tightening happening, like people are not interested in high risk assets because liquidity is getting drained out of the financial markets, and they want to stick with low risk pairs. Yeah, I mean, Bitcoin isn't really low risk compared to the other financial markets, but inside the cryptoverse, Bitcoin is really the low risk asset. That's why we see like Bitcoin has actually no effect of this event, but altcoins, they do. What we can see here, they follow this quite nicely. So we need to see QE happening as there is no alt season. Like it shows that every post-halving year, we actually see an alt season. So, and now with all this Trump policy and everything, politics going on, probabilities are very high that we are seeing QE this year. The thing is, what will be the event to trigger it? Because the event is going to be harsh for the financial markets. We are going to see a shakeout, which is going to scare a lot of people. And here is where my Bitcoin scenarios actually come in, right? Because just like last time, we saw QE happening really like after, this was the beginning, but when we saw the real liquidity pump in the market was right after COVID. This is where most of the people left here. And then we saw this V-shaped recovery, and out of this dip, we saw alt season. And this will happen exactly the same if we see such a sell-off event. It doesn't have to happen, right? It doesn't have to happen like this brutally. So here are my two scenarios coming in mind where I think alt season is actually going to start off. So scenario 1 would then be this scenario, which I prefer actually, where we have this 1, 2, 3, 4, and then an extended fifth, where we're looking a little bit more higher prices, then a huge sell-off to like low 70s, and this would actually be enough for people to quit the markets, take what is left of their portfolio and fuck off. Like this would be enough to scare a lot of people. Exactly like here, exactly like COVID. This is going to be enough to actually, to alt season really happen. Scenario 2 will then be the finished impulse, where we are looking like low 50s, mid 40s. This would be low probabilities, as actually all the signs are that Bitcoin has not topped out, and this scenario would indicate that Bitcoin has topped out, and you would enter a new bear market, right, going into 2026 and everything. So I am looking at this shakeout right here, where we're seeing another 1-2 and coming into P45 and simply looking for another impulse to the upside to then really finish the bull market. This would be something I would be interested in. Now the problem is, during this dip, not only the investors are going to be scared, but also the ones that are like, if you're on the really micro caps and you have a project and you are seeing your coin tanking like 90%, you were thinking, okay, fuck off, I will simply start a new project, and you who invested in this coin are now fucked, right? What I want to say with this, stick with the ones that hold up against Bitcoin. I made a video yesterday where I talked about it, which coins are holding up against Bitcoin. Those are the ones you want to stick with, because once with the QE happening, then those who are already holding up against Bitcoin are now the highest outperformers you will have to see, right? So again, if we look at the Bitcoin dominance, this year is going to be a great year. If we simply look at the 12 months chart, right, it's pretty obvious. It's pretty obvious. Post-halving year, big sell-off, then green candles for 3 years, then the next green candle, big sell-off and a Bitcoin dominance. Now we had 3 green candles. So this year, yeah, eventually, like what history showed us, is that we are seeing this year a huge sell-off in Bitcoin dominance. So we would need to see this year QE, then we would need to see a huge sell-off, and then we would need to see alt season. So just like last time, we wicked above the highs, which could mean we could also wick above this high this year and then see the drop. This could have happened. This could happen. But I'm not here for what is happening tomorrow or next week. I'm here for the whole alt season. So that's actually not that interesting for me. As long as I'm staying with the strong coins, yeah, they can tank 50%. I don't really care. I have my bags, and once everything goes up, they will go up harder. Right? That's the mentality you need to stick with. So I am prepared for that scenario. Now, again, for alt season to happen, we would need to see QE. For QE to happen, we would need to see an event that is strong enough for the Fed to, yeah, really buy back all of those paper assets so the liquidity gets pumped in the market back. And for this event, yeah, it will be brutal. It will shake out a lot of people. If we see a skyrocket in the unemployment rate, or if we see deflation even, then yeah, be prepared for a shakeout. I'm telling you that. Stick with the strong coins. Don't fuck around with all of these low cap AI agents, because as long as you trade them short term, that's great, right? But if you do it for the long term, most of those are going to tank hard if we see the shakeout. It doesn't mean we have to see this shakeout, but it could happen. So prepare for that. Else the path is clear, right? Red candle, red candle. We are seeing a red candle this year probably. That's what I'm betting on, because this is what happens every time. Also, if you look at the other dominance chart, right, it's time for us to see a recovery. And also, if you look at the altcoin chart against Bitcoin, it's same, post halving year, fat as green candle, fat as green candle. We are looking for a red green candle again. It's that simple. I hope you, really prepare for that, even if you don't like what I just said, because it goes against your the thoughts that you are having in your mind or what you want to hear. You have to accept it, because if you don't like it, it just means that you are not prepared enough and that you are probably overexposed in really high risk, low cap coins. I told you yesterday, or I think I did it yesterday, the video where I showed you what I would do with the coins that are bad. So watch that. And with that, now bye bye. I hope you like it. Stay tuned. Tomorrow is always going to become another video, just like every day. So bye bye.